You heard it. Honolulu Center. Welcome, friends. We are 5 hours and 49 minutes into this flight, which had an original estimated duration of 6 hours and 3 minutes. Took off from... this guy right here. I don't know, we might have some competing traffic. 3012 is listed as the nearest altimeter. Let's see. 3013, very nice. Anyway, we took off from Fiji about 9:45 in the morning Fiji time tomorrow. Across the international date line, we're about to land in Kona on the big island of Hawaii. Ellison Onizuka International Airport, the great American Ellison Onizuka, who perished on the Space Shuttle Challenger, January 28, 1986. So I was looking at whether to land at Hilo or Kona, and once I realized that Kona was named after that brave astronaut, well, I figured we're going to Kona. So anyway, we are descending through 16,000 feet right now, 15,800 feet down to 3,000. 3,000 is the published approach altitude for the Veki waypoint. You see Veki's right there. That's our IAF. You see there are other planes that are on final to this runway 17, ILS runway 17 via the Kayak 6 star. It's so nice to be landing back in the U.S. because I have access to so much more information in terms of airport frequency, data, and so forth, star, SID, so forth. ILS frequency is 109.7 at runway 17. And the VOR there is 112.1. We'll switch our bearing 2 over to nav 2, and there we go. KOA right there, you see? 39 nautical miles out. We'll continue slowing now, or begin slowing. We've been at 280 for a while now. We do have traffic off to our, about our 8 o'clock. Let's see if we can see them. There he is. Well, hopefully we don't have any traffic problems on this. That's always a little irritating when that happens. Anyway, yeah, we're landing. Expected arrival time was 5:48 p.m. in Kona. So we are about 12 minutes out. Which would put us on the ground at about 5:51. So about 2 or 3 minutes late, but all things considered, it's been going pretty smooth so far. Maybe 5:52. Anyway, excited to be back in the States. It's very exciting. Anyway, the published approach plate, Veki is 3,000 feet, and Egypt, right here, is 1,500 feet. Distance from Veki to Egypt is 6.0 nautical miles. From Egypt to the airport is 4.4. So from the IAF, which is marked here on this rectangle, that's 10 miles. But actually, we're going to be flying from Tammy. So I'd say it's probably going to be a 16, 17-mile final, which is great. We're below 10,000 feet. We're 39 miles out, so we can actually shallow out our descent rate rather dramatically now, down to 1,200 feet per minute, and we'll slow to 240. And you can actually see the big island of Hawaii out there now. Haven't been in Hawaii since my first real flight in the Longitude, which I think was, God, probably in October, when we flew from Sacramento to Kahului, which is in Maui. Never landed the Big Island before. 37 miles out now, 8,690 feet. Looks good. Only concern I have right now is a traffic conflict, because that other guy is right there. Probably not going to show up on the video, but I can see him, and you can actually see him too if you look on our MFD right here. I'm really 26.0 is the whiskey. I'm gonna really stay on. Really gonna stay on top of the MCP, the mode control panel, on this one because of that weird bug that you've seen now in several of my videos. Shallow to 1,000 feet per minute. Continue to Tammy as planned. Okay. Anyway, you've noticed on 3 flights now where it, for whatever reason, starts turning. And I'm going to keep a real sharp eye to see if that happens again. Yeah, that Hawaiian 520 is, I think, my competition on this flight, so we'll see how that goes. We might have a traffic conflict on landing, but if so, oh well. Shallow out to 700 feet per minute now. Airspeed looks good, actually, 210. We'll keep it there for now. Beautiful day. There's the Big Island. Speaking of weather, we took off out of Fiji via the Alpha 2 SID, and it was an absolutely beautiful day. Windy though, but it was beautiful and a nice smooth takeoff. Weather in Kona this evening, where it's 5:42 p.m., is 82 degrees and partly cloudy. Beautiful week ahead, basically 82 degrees. As I forecasted high through Wednesday. Sunset's at 7:03 tonight. And winds are out of the southwest at 8 miles an hour. So, that's looking good. But long flight from Fiji to Hawaii, comparatively. Although, you know, I've done a lot of 6-hour flights in the last week or so in the Longitude. We have our bank limiter off now because we do have a big right turn coming, as you can see right here. We're going to be turning right at Tammy. Go ahead and switch our bearing 1 over to nav 1 and see if we have any ILS data yet. Yes, we do. IKOA, and that is the published approach identifier. IKOA, India Kilo Oscar Alpha, which is the published approach ILS identifier, and the parity here between the mileage 23.2 to the ILS 23.5 to the VOR confirms that we are tuned in to the correct frequencies. Outside air temperature is 13 degrees, no issue with icing whatsoever. We're at 24 miles out, 5,700 feet. That's fantastic. And as we make this right turn at Tammy, I will switch over the nav source right here, if I can zoom in on it for you, to nav 1 instead of GPS. And I'm going to wait to do that only because I want to see if the problem recurs, where it starts turning inexplicably. We're going to slow to 200. Some nice clouds out there. 22 miles out. Yeah, there's the approach to handoff, or the handoff to approach rather. We're at 5,000 feet. We'll go ahead and shallow out our descent right now to 400 feet per minute, and we'll depressurize the airplane, which we're required to do. Depressurize before landing, you see? We are receiving ILS information. There's that other plane. That is going to be a traffic conflict, I suspect. We're going to slow even more. There's not going to be adequate spacing, so we're going to be landing on the runway at the same time as another plane. I regret to inform you. I suppose if there was a consequence for doing that, I wouldn't do it. So he's 5 miles ahead of us. He's headed straight to Vecchi. I headed to Tammy. Let's see here. See, he's headed straight to Vecchi. He's going to make his right turn. I'm out here, so he's 5 miles ahead. We can try to help out here a little. The ATC isn't giving us any speed restrictions, but... And normally 2 mile separation would be fine, but unfortunately it's not in the sim. Let's go ahead and do a notch of flaps. Keep an eye on that AOA, that angle of attack right here. Well, it doesn't seem to be turning. didn't have any problems this time. So we're going to go ahead and activate the ILS. You can see here the white diamond coming down beautifully. Right there, you see? Drifting its way down. That is very, very good news because it means that we are going to intercept the glide slope probably instantaneously the second I hit nav 1. Okay, good. And now I'm going to hit APPR. But first I'm going to order us to slow down. I'm going to use the MCP here to slow us down to 160. And then we're going to hit APPR, and you watch what happens. This right here should turn green to a green GS. Okay, it turned, but it didn't turn green yet. So that means it's prepared to intercept it. We are just 14 miles out now. Slow to 155. Our approach speed for this flight is 137. I think we just grabbed the glide slope. Yes, we did. GS.
Cessna 3 Bravo Whiskey, you are 14 miles north of Kona. Contact Kona Tower on 120.3.
Go outside. So tower handoff. Put our gear down. There's that plane right out in front of us. Unfortunately. Clouds look fantastic. Okay, we're going to slow down to our approach speed now. 13. What did I say? 138 or 136? 137. We'll go full flaps now. Looks great, huh? Full flaps. Keep an eye on that airspeed. See right there, 135. It's handling it though. Winds are stiff out of the east. 14 knots. That is not what they are, or at least not what they were reported as in real life. Go ahead and set our minimums. I doubt we'll need them. Looks like it's a nice day, but 247 Barrow. We're good on our glide slope. Airspeed looks good. That guy is out in front of us. My only hope is he gets off the runway. I'm not optimistic. I hate to say that, but I'm just not. I can't slow down any more than I already am. 137. Full flaps. Gear down. Landing lights. Don't want to forget those. Nicely configured. Fantastic. Let's get a couple of shots, huh? Ocean. Land. Love the clouds. Just love the clouds so much. Keep an eye on this wind. That's 12 knots from the east. But 17 is clearly the active runway because we've now heard at least 2 planes land on it or be assigned to land on it. Looks like we lose the GS. No, I think we're okay still. Go ahead and zoom in on the... we're 2 minutes 45 seconds from landing. We'll zoom in on the MFD. Down to 2. We'll disconnect the auto throttle. I don't see that airplane anymore. Where'd he go? 220. Okay, so the winds at the airfield are from the southwest, correct. But here in aloft, you can see the winds are from the east-northeast, sort of the standard trade winds. But at the airfield, they are from the southwest, so the sim's got the weather right. Airspeed's good, 139. Showing us 4.8 nautical miles from the airport, 1 minute, 53 seconds to touchdown. Kind of cloudy. Beautiful. I have been to the Big Island of Hawaii, but not for a long time. Look at that. See? 2 and 2. 2 whites, 2 reds on the poppies. We're going to be exiting left.
2 mile final, runway 17.
2 mile final. Wait for the 500 call out here in a second. Right now I show our altitude 890 feet. Looking really good though. ILS is holding the glide slope perfectly right now. The autopilot is. Reconfirm. Gear down. Here comes the 500 call out. Stand by for autopilot disconnect.
500.
Autopilot.
Autopilot.
I have the airplane. Got 3 reds, 1 white. Back to 2 and 2. Middle marker indicator. Look good. 2 and 2. Winds are 7 knots. Slight crosswind from the right. Come on. I'd like to make that first turn, but no way. Not at 80 knots, my friends. All right, welcome to Kona, Hawaii. Big island. That wind's pulling us to the right a little bit, definitely. We're going to make our left turn here. Looks beautiful. Wow. Local time 5:53, so not too terrible. Awesome. Fantastic. That really went well. I'm very pleased with that landing. Looks beautiful. Look at that. Bring in those spoilers. And go back in the airplane. We'll bring in those flaps. There you go. Fantastic. Deal with our lights. Landing lights are off. Taxi lights on. Pulse lights off. Pitot static no longer needed. And timer is stopped. 6 hours, 6 minutes, 46 seconds. Outside air temperature, 86 degrees. That's not too bad. All right, friends, let's contact ground and get taxi to parking and head to the Four Seasons, where we're staying here in Kona this evening. A bargain at $2,800 a night. There's our arrows. I looked it up. It is $2,800 a night. I do love the Four Seasons, though. Never stayed at the Four Seasons Kona, but I have stayed at the Four Seasons in various cities. Maui, among them. Not Maui, obviously not a city, but in Maui I stayed at the Four Seasons. Absolutely loved it. I was pretty happy with that landing. Everything went really well. We didn't get that weird turn that has just been vexing me. 3 times, and all since the last update. We're going to ramp 82. Be there in a flash here, less than half a mile away. Ellison Onizuka International. What a guy that man was. I mean, all 7 of them were incredible people. But that was pretty amazing, those guys. Slipped the surly bonds of earth to touch the face of God. Remember that like it was yesterday. I was just a kid. Right? It's tough. But enough of sad things. I always like to think about his heroism and bravery. And here we are at Ellison Onizuka International. which is also pretty cool. And, oh, it almost just occurred to me, we're back in the United States. Back in the U.S. Good to be back, too, I'll tell you. It's been a long journey around the world. We last were in the U.S. in Teterboro, New Jersey, before we left for Reykjavik. All right, friends, let's park. Make sure we stay comfortably clear of this little guy. It's like a PA. There's our parking. I really do find that the exterior view does help to kind of give you some perspective just on exactly where they want you. I mean, I'm not going to do this when I can do this. A tiny bit more gas, unfortunately. It's tricky to time that just right, I gotta be honest. And there we go. Fantastic. All right. Well, thank you, friends, for joining us on this fun flight, or at least the approach and landing of this fun flight. For me, fun flight. Kill that right engine. And, oh, I never turned off the taxi light. Poor guy. Good thing he has sunglasses on. And we'll make sure that's good. And that, okay. And then we'll just take one last look outside. Here we are, parked. Safe and sound. Back in the United States. 343 Bravo Whiskey continues to deliver us safely around the world. We're glad you could join us today. We'll drop the logbook screen. And we'll say good night. All right. There you go. NFFN. I said we took off at 9:45. Oh, that's got to be UTC. Yeah, of course it's UTC. What am I thinking? Anyway, no, as I recall, well, I'll have to listen to the video. Anyway, 6-hour flight. 6 hours, 4 minutes. I got to give credit to the sim. The estimate on the setup page was 6 hours, 3 minutes for a 2,876 nautical mile journey. That's about the outer limits of this aircraft. It can do more. Keep in mind, I'm saying nautical miles, not regular miles, but I could probably squeeze a little more out of it, you know. But 6 hours, 7 hours tops probably. But anyway, we're happy to be in Hawaii, back in the States, and I guess we're heading to LA after this, although maybe we'll do a little island hopping tour. That could be kind of fun, huh? Maybe go over to Kauai or Big Island, or who knows? Sky's the limit in this game. It's part of the fun. Have a great weekend, everybody.